Hi, Miss Orbelina. I'm Carolina Valencia, and it's my pleasure to be in this video explaining to you all this information. This day, we are going to see this main topic for our career as a future English professional. So, we are going to see translation by omission, right? But in this case, focusing on the purpose, right? So we are going to start first of all to the information, the meaning, and of course, what is the main purpose. So we are going to start. Okay, first of all, it's very important to know what is translation by omission. And we can say that translation by omission is a strategy using for some translators, right? And is regard, for example, when a translator decides to omit some information, some phrases, some words, right? To the source language, to the target language, right? So, and I know that, for example, to say this at first sounds kind of tricky, kind of rare, but yes, translators do that omit some information, right? And we are going to move on to the next information. And as you will see, this not mean that, for example, the translator is lazy or is like careless, right? In many cases, the omitted information is not essential, right? It's not essential from the main message, for understand in a better way the main message, right? So, for example, some languages repeat information, right? That may sound unnatural in another language. Also, some expressions are very culture specifics and may not have a clear, like, useful equivalence, right? And in these cases, omission can help make the translation more natural and easy to understand at the end. So, translation by omission, as you can see, is a strategy which is so important for our career. For example, if you are like have a job as a translator, right? It's very important that you know that you are not like translate all the text, right? All the, like, each word, because it's not important to do that to understand the main message. So we are going to move on to the next part of the topic. Okay, and for very understand this topic, it's very important to make the question, why do translator use a strategy? Well, it's very important first of all to understand that that is not necessary to translate each word, right? Because the main idea by omitting these details, right, is that, for example, the translator well, to turn the idea more clear for the reader, right, is very important. Second one, omission helps to achieve naturalness, because some word, for example, words or phrases as well, in some, we can say, strange, right, or redundant in the target language as well. For example, if the translator keeps everything, the translation can feel heavy or unnatural, right? So, for this reason, it's very important that as a translator, we think about it. Very important. By omitting the small parts, the text sounds more fluent, more natural as well, right? For all these reasons, we can say that is the kind of the main purpose to use this strategy, right? So, we are going to move on to the next part. Another purpose that we can mention, of why do translator use this strategy, we can say that translation by omission can be used for cultural reasons as well. Very important this point, because some information may not be kind of relevant, right? Or understandable for the target audience. For example, a cultural sorry for example, a cultural reference, right, or a local expression may kind of confuse readers in another culture. In this case, we can say that the translator may omit or to avoid it confusion, right? We can say that. And finally, omission is sometimes used for practical reasons, right? As I was saying in the beginning of the video, such as time of space limits, right? For example, in subtitles, when for example when you are in Netflix, in my case I love that icon which is 2.5 men. I love it a lot, and I prefer to put the subtitles, right, for movies or series like Stranger Things. I love it as well. Translators must work with limit space, we can say that, and reading time as well. Then I omit less important words to make sure that the audience can read the subtitles easily, right? In a very easily way. And yeah, we can say that. So we are going to move on to the next part. For example, I have this example, which is, let's look imagine sentences in Spanish, right? Which is, he arrived very early in the morning at around 5 o'clock, more or less. In English, a translator might say he arrived early in the morning, right? Here, the exact time around 5 o'clock, more or less is omitted, as you can see, but the main idea is still clear. The person arrived early, right? So the omission helps to keep the sentence, as you can see, short and natural as well. And yeah, in this way we can move on to the conclusion for this very interesting topic, and we can conclude that translation by omission is a strategy where some information, right, is, we can say, is intentionally left out, right, left out or omitted as well. The purpose is not to change the meaning, but to make the translator clearly more natural, more appropriate to the context as well for the target audience. So we can say also that omission can help with clarity, naturalness, right? Very important that part. Cultural adaptation as well, and practical limitations like subtitles, as I mentioned. So yeah, even if something is omitted, a good translation still communicates the main message, right? Very important to conclude with that of the original text. So that's all for my part, Miss Orbelina. Thanks a lot for for giving me this chance to explain this very interesting topic and important topic as well. I enjoy it a lot to learn regard this, because I never had like the opportunity to know regard this. But for me, the unit one was very interesting, and in the future, if I had the opportunity to turn like a translator, I hope to can apply of this strategy. So that was all for my part, Miss Orbelina. Thanks a lot for your attention, and have a good one. Bye.